Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our show. I'm Eleftheria, Community Manager here at CrabNebula, and today I have the pleasure to have with me Hussein. We will talk about his product, HW Monitor, as well as CrabNebula DevTools. Stay tuned. It's going to be a cool episode. So, hi, Hussein. How are you? Please introduce yourself and share a little bit about your background.
My name is Hussein. I'm 20 years old, based in Lebanon. I got my bachelor degree like a couple months ago in computer science.
Perfect. And how did you start working with Tauri and maybe Rust?
In my studies, there's always a need to make like personal projects to work on projects in general. So for some reason, I was interested in desktop applications. And looking back then it was Electron. It was very famous. So I thought this is like the best choice to start with, especially that in university we are very familiar with JavaScript and with web technologies. So I started like doing some small projects doing using Electron, and I did like a text editor. But once I finished it and I started like to understand how Electron works, I realized that it's very heavy. It's very like it's for big projects. It consumes a lot of CPU, a lot of RAM. Even like the size of the application, like I would do the smallest project ever, it would be like 80 megabytes or 100 megabytes, which was an overkill for me. So I thought like this is really, I don't know, not for me. I thought of like looking for another framework that's not as demanding as Electron in size and such. And I got to know Tauri by accident. And I remember like looking at their website, and I saw that you can make desktop applications as small as I believe it was in 100 kilobytes. And I was like, yeah, this is definitely the one I want to learn. But there was a big setback for me that it's Rust, and back then I didn't know any Rust. But I've been wanting like to learn it for the past 2 years, but for some reason I've been always scared of learning Rust because I heard like I've seen memes and I've heard like people
Yes.
talk about how Rust is a little bit complicated. It has a different learning curve. So but I remember like I installed the prerequisites, I downloaded the what I need to start, and I started a small project which was just a simple like slide bar for the controlling volume of the operating system, and it was good. So this is how I got to know Tauri, and I started like learning Tauri and Rust at the same time actually, which was not easy, but with time I got better with both.
Yeah, I get it, especially Rust, because I'm also learning Rust right now. I can feel all the pain points that you were mentioning. Yeah. But on
Yes.
the other hand, we also have a lot of people saying the same thing that you were saying, that they were coming from Electron. They saw where Electron is lacking and where Tauri excels, and that's how they make that change. So
Yes.
awesome, nice. So now I think it's time to go to your project. You have created HW Monitor. Would you like to share your screen and also speak a little bit about your project?
HW Monitor is a hardware monitor for Linux, especially. It aims to monitor all of like the aspects of your hardware of the machine that you are using, and also like the processes. This is the main page, which is like the processes page. You can see all the processes that are running on your machine. They have like a user, a PID, PPID, name of the process, state, how much memory they are using, how much CPU, and you can even look for processes here. So I can search, for example, Firefox, and I can see this that Firefox is running and the state of it and all of that. And by clicking on it, I can kill it, which means I turn it off. So let's say if there was a process that's not responding, or an application that is not responding, and you want to close it, you can do this easily. Uh, so this is like, yeah, it's the processes. You can also add more stuff to it, like read disk usage, write disk usage, read disk speed, and write disk speed. And now you can even see more information about the how much disk it's using, how much like the speed of the read and write of it. The second page is performance. It's like very similar to the Windows one, where you can see how much each component is consuming. For example, this is the CPU. It shows you the speed, the temperature, for how long it's been running, the usage, and a lot of like more information about the CPU. There's also the memory, the GPU, the Wi-Fi, and the Ethernet. Now, since I have a notebook, like a laptop, so I just only using Wi-Fi. You can see that it's only drawing graphs for the Wi-Fi, but for the Ethernet, there's nothing because I don't use Ethernet. And the GPU support is still new, so there's like right now support for NVIDIA GPUs, and I'm working on AMD at the moment. And the second page is sensors, which is here mostly information about temperatures of components of the computer or the hardware. This is definitely like dynamic, which doesn't mean if you saw these sensors on my laptop, you'll see the same on yours. It's very different. The library, which is called libmedium, it's a Rust crate. It might detect more sensors, it might detect less. And for notebooks, there's a battery like a component that tells you information about your battery. Yeah, it's like some informations that are very specific and very maybe not important for the normal user, but some people really like they have the interest of knowing all of the aspects of their computers. How hot is the CPU? How's the battery? Number of cycles, and all of that. And the last page in the software is the disks, which shows the disks that you have in your machine. In my case, I have two disks. Both of them are NVMe's, and you can see the size and the partitions and the size of each partition. You can even see the mounted partition and how much you're using out of it. So like the EFI partition and the boot partition in my case. Yeah, so this is mainly like the software. It's really have a simple interface, nothing crazy. It tries to be minimalistic. Adding to that, there's also like on Linux, there's this philosophy of each software have like a config file which you can edit. And by editing the config file, you edit the UI of your application. For example, the colors. Maybe someone doesn't like this dark theme that I made. Maybe they want this color, I don't know, red. So they have the capability of doing this in the settings tab, where they are able to change or configure all the colors in the software, like
That's
all of
cool.
them. Yeah, and the update time of each page. So maybe reading the processes each second is extensive for your CPU or something. I don't know. You can make it, for example, each 4 seconds. You can change the table values, which I showed earlier. For example, I just want to see the memory and the name. So I can do this.
Yeah.
And if I come here, you'll just see the name of the process and how much RAM it's consuming. We can, for example, let's try and change some colors. So the background color of the sensors page. Let's do this. Okay, let's
That's
try to
cool.
see.
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
configure a lot of stuff. Really
yeah.
nice. And what was your inspiration for this project? And also, how long have you been working on this?
People on Linux tend to use small CLI utilities. For example, if you wanted to see the processes, you would use something called htop. Here it is. If you wanted to see the GPU, you would use something called mvtop. If you wanted to see, I don't know, the internet, you would use pedometer or whatever. Yeah, so
Yeah.
like there isn't just a single software that shows all of these in one place. So I thought maybe I should do one myself. It'll have everything I'll ever need in terms.
No, it seems like a really nice project. I'm not a Linux user, but it seems like a really cool project.
Yeah,
And what other technologies did you use to build it? One of them is obviously Tauri. Is it actually Tauri version 1 or version 2? And what
it's
other
Tauri
technologies did you?
version.
Okay.
Yeah, so It's Tauri version 1. I didn't get the chance to try Tauri version 2 yet. And the technologies were like for the front end, I used the famous library. It's called React.js with TypeScript. Yeah, it's pretty famous. And on the back end, it's just Rust. I used a couple crates like the sysinfo, which helped me a lot through the process, and another crate called libmedium. Rust really helped with this project.
We've been talking a while, and I know you also had the chance to use CrabNebula DevTools. Would you maybe also like again to share your screen and also let us know how you use DevTools?
So I've heard of CrabNebula before, but I haven't used it since I'm a beginner and I've been like starting to learn Tauri. But when you contacted me about it, I got curious and I actually installed DevTools, which was pretty easy. You just had to like cargo add DevTools and just add like the plugin in the main file. It was really easy, which I was surprised because I've never used a debugger or such thing before. So here it is, Tauri DevTools. You would get a link which works on your local host, and it would open this dash. So it would have like the console which show you the logs, the values you are like printing. In mine, there's none because there's, I believe, no logs at the moment. And here's the calls, which I found the most interesting tab for me, which shows each, let's say, event or command that's getting triggered and at which time and for how long. So, for example, get processes, it takes almost like a second and a little bit because in the function of get processes, there's a sleep function that sleeps for a second. Yeah, so it can help you debug your code. There's even like you can see a configuration of the Tauri application for some reason. Okay, yeah, here it is. So you can see informations about the packages, Tauri itself, the window, the size of it, the width, the height. You can even see stuff about the code. You can see the code here. And of course, if you had like an error or a bug, it would show it. And it would be easy like to debug it and to fix the bug than like, I don't know, using traditional ways as reading the code, maybe using print statements and such.
And last question, do you have any plans for the future, either for the project that you show us today or doing other projects with Tauri?
Yes, of course. So right now, like I'm trying to get the GPU support for all GPUs, and I've been thinking since like with the power of Rust, this can actually be done, and I believe it haven't been done before, is to make it cross-platform. Because Tauri is known for doing cross-platform applications, but in my case, it wouldn't work because it's only focused on Linux. But using some crates and some libraries, you can actually get to make it cross-platform. So if this would be possible, it would be great to make it work on Windows and on Mac OS. Yeah, this is for the long run for sure. I'm going to like keep working on it. I'm not gonna give up on it like other projects because most people just make a project, they finish it, and they start another. Yeah, I'm doing this too. I started another project, but I'll keep working on it for sure. And I've actually like some people actually are using it, and some people liked it, and they contacted me on Discord. So it was good. Yeah,
Great.
like I'm very thankful. Yeah, I'm very thankful for Tauri for giving like without Tauri, I wouldn't think this would be possible at all, or even without Rust. And yeah, I want also to thank CrabNebula for this opportunity of showing this software, and I would like to also thank Tauri for making the framework open source. I mean, that's great. Right now, I'll be continue studying software engineering, and of course, working on these projects at the same time.
Good luck with your studies. This is the most important thing.
Yeah,
But also, we are grateful that you built this project, and we are grateful that we could actually show it to our audience, and hopefully, even more people are going to use it. So, in the description box below, I will have all the links that we discussed today. So, your project, CrabNebula DevTools, and other interesting links. Yeah, I think that was it. Thank you very much for doing
thank
this
you.
interview. If you guys like this video, don't forget to support it and also check Hussein's project. Thank you very much for watching and see you soon with another video.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.